You're tuned in to the Vintage House Show, home to the original stories of the history of house music as told by the legends, pioneers, and icons. Hosted by Kevin Mega McFall, Lowery Branch, and Lauren Lowery.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to the airport to unveil the Chicago Home of House. We're going to get started, so please take your seats. And with that, Commissioner Mike McMurray for opening remarks.
So I'll give everybody a chance to get comfortable. I think everybody's pretty much comfortable. We may be expecting a few more guests, so I think we're running just a tad bit late, but that's okay, so we're going to get started. Again, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. My name is Michael McMurray, and I'm the Commissioner of Chicago Department of Aviation. And on behalf of Mayor Brandon Johnson, again, I want to welcome you all here today to Chicago International Airport. And it's my honor to welcome the Chicago Home of House exhibit to O'Hare here today. This exhibit immerses viewers in rich and dynamic visual journey through the history of house music, one of Chicago's most iconic and enduring cultural exports. And I'm excited particularly because house music takes me back to my college days at Northwestern University. So brings back a lot of good memory, and I guess I'm a house head as well. So. Yeah, so let's clap for our proud house head. And over the last 4 decades, house music has grown from its humble beginnings in basements, high schools, and underground clubs to influence music, fashion, dance, and culture all over the world. This exhibit spotlights DJ Lady D, one of Chicago's legendary artists. Yes, let's clap. And Lady D captures the essence and spirit of house. And we're honored to have her here as a guest today. Chicago Department of Aviation, is also excited to welcome her as one of over 20 house artists scheduled to perform at Chicago's airports throughout the upcoming holiday season. As many of you may know, O'Hare and Midway are global gateways to Chicago, often serving as first impressions for our beautiful city and visitors from all over the world. At the Chicago Department of Aviation, we're proud to use that first impression as a showcase for Chicago artists and our city's vibrant cultural landscape. From our public art collection featuring more than 70 permanent art pieces at O'Hare and Midway collectively, to the recent acquired collection of work by Chicago artists at O'Hare's Terminal 5, the tradition, people, and cultures that make Chicago unique are always on display, and we're very proud of that. And this exhibit is no different. House music has provided the soundtrack for this wonderful city and has been a unifying chord across the country for more than the last 50 years. I'd like to thank Lauren Lowery, Lowery Branch, and Kevin McFall from the Vintage House Show team for the extensive research and curation that went into bringing the Chicago Home of House exhibit to life. I also want to thank Tanner Woodford, Kevin Reeder, and Haoyu Lu of the Design Museum of Chicago for their captivating design work. And of course, thank you again to the house pioneers, DJ Lady D and Rick Lenoir, for joining us today. It's an honor to have you all at O'Hare to celebrate this history. And now I'd like to welcome Lowery Branch.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm DJ Lowery Branch. I'm a native Chicagoan. I grew up in Morgan Park and Inglewood, and I go through these halls probably once a month, if not more. So I can't be prouder and happier that we are here to celebrate the history of house music, to recognize some of our cultural icons who are still with us and still doing it all over the place. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the Vintage House Show. We are a podcast and a radio show out of Northwestern University. Lauren Lowery is our executive produceress, I like to call her that, and she's in charge. And I work with Lauren and Kevin McFall to do a radio show where we talk about the history of house music because it is a uniquely Chicago product. This was born here, it was built here, and it's been exported internationally. So don't ever let anybody tell you that a house music came from anywhere else other than Chicago. So yes, give it up. This exhibit that you see is a feature from a larger exhibit that has been on display since 2015, and it was part of a larger cultural exhibit at the Cultural Museum downtown by Rob McKay and some of our other collaborators. So it really is an evolution, and we have been on display in many different places. So you're seeing a bit of a snapshot from that, but you can press the QR codes and learn a little bit more about sort of our history and where we come from. But I wanted to just say that, you know, from its beginnings, and the commissioner really summed it up well, this came out of people's basements, out of their hearts and minds of black and brown kids on the south and west sides of Chicago to become an international phenomenon. House music is the foundation for so many other genres, including EDM and techno and so many things that you've heard of, came out of Chicago. So we need to be proud of that. And I wanted to also say we are eternally grateful for this department and for O'Hare Airport for having us here. We couldn't be happier. I'm going to just, you know, tell all my friends that they need to come and see this exhibit. I hope you would do the same. And what I'd love to do is just to introduce you to two of our Chicago artists who are featured in the exhibit. My friend and colleague and co-DJ, DJ Lady D, come on up. And we're going to hear from Rick Moore, who is a producer, DJ, just a curator of his own right, and done so many great things, including the song "You Can't Stop the House," which is featured as part of this exhibit. It is really one of our anthems, and it's been remade 1,000,000 times just because of the genius that it is. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce Lady D.
I would like to thank you, Lori Branch. I would like to thank the Commissioner and the Chicago Department of Aviation and the Vintage House Show for, you know, whom I have mad respect for putting house music culture in the archives of our lives and for it to not be forgotten. It's such an instrumental part of my upbringing, my coming of age story, and for many of us Chicagoans, it has held a long-standing place in our hearts and minds. House music has really, literally changed the world. And for that, I am proud to be an ambassador of this music, of this culture. Everything that started in the late 70s, you know, we are children of civil rights movement. So we believe that we can do anything, and we spread love and peace around the world. And that's what house music is at its core. And so I'm proud to be an ambassador of that and have traveled the world from Montreal to Moscow and back home again. And there's no place like home. And I love Chicago immensely. Thank you so much for this honor.
Good morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. All right. Well, first I want to start with a couple of thank yous to the City of Chicago Department of Aviation, our Commissioner, the Design Museum of Chicago, Lauren, Lowery, Kevin, and the Vintage House Show. So it's an honor to be here. I'm humbled. My name is Rick Lenore. I have been around house music since its inception, I guess. Right out of kindergarten, because you can tell by my youthful look, right? But I have to say it's fitting that this exhibit will grace this space. It's, you know, if you think about it, it shares and reminds us, and it announces to the world as they arrive here in Chicago that this is the birthplace of house music. You know, I'm really humbled to be here. There's so many that have been part of this sound. The exhibit also pays tribute to some of those that we've lost, some folks who have helped and were instrumental in crafting the movement of house music. Not just the sound, but the fashion and the parties and all the artifacts that have gone on to build other types of music, as Lady D and Lori have mentioned. But the inclusion of our song as part of this exhibit, I think really it encapsulates what Chicago's about. I am Chicago through and through, right? I unapologetically, I rep Chicago everywhere I go, right? And when you've had an opportunity to travel the world, see the impact that this music has had, and then you come back and you're landing here at O'Hare, you're coming across the lake and you see that skyline and you realize this is the most amazing city in the world. I think about this song, I think about this exhibit, and it's fitting because it embodies and reflects that era of innovation and exploration and creativity and independence, and really the energy that is Chicago. And really just takes me back to those periods of time back in the 80s. I think it's also fitting that we mark and celebrate, that this is the greatest airport in the world and the greatest city in the world. And for house music that has shaped dance music globally, this is the perfect place for it to be. So with that, I say thank you, and thanks for having me out for a little while.
Thank you, and thank you, DJ Lady D, Rick, Lori, and Commissioner. If everyone would just proceed and follow Christine Penavella, we're going to take you down to the exhibit and do the official unveiling, and then passengers get to enjoy the house music for a couple hours in the terminals. Please feel free to join the party.
Thanks for listening to the Vintage House Show podcast. Please subscribe and share, and check us out live, WNUR 89.3 FM, Wednesdays at 10 o'clock.